We're here at the Beverly Hills Hotel poolside with the men behind the music of Crazy Heart. And you guys got big applause today at the Academy lunch.
Oh, I didn't know that.
There was warmth in the room. Definite warmth in the room.
Well, it's a great. This event is one of the great events of the calendar here in Los Angeles.
So part of what makes Crazy Heart work, very significantly, I think, actually, besides the fact that Jeff Bridges is one of the most talented people on the planet and he can sing, but the songs are sort of part of the character work and part of the expression of who he is in the movie. How have you learned how to sort of make that happen?
Well, I've had, I've had the good fortune to have the most extraordinary teachers in my life. My first gig was with Bob Dylan, who's a great teacher, and on that tour were Allen Ginsberg and Joni Mitchell and Ann Sexton and all these wonderful Sam Shepard. And then the first movie I made was with the Coen brothers, who were great teachers and great filmmakers.
Oh, Brother, Where Art Thou?
Yeah, Oh, Brother. Actually, the first film I did with them was The Big Lebowski.
With the dude.
Also with Jeffrey. Also with the dude. And you work through these things with these people. Sam Shepard has a great mind for how to tell a story, when a dramatic shift takes place, what has to happen, how the shift takes place. So it's a tremendous experience getting to Ryan and I and a few other guys, Stephen Bruton and John Goodwin, all sat around a table with Jeff Bridges and Scott Cooper, the director, for months, and talked about the character and really came up with a life for him. Who he was, what was the first record he bought, what was the first song he ever wrote, what was his first hit, all of the events of an artist's life leading up to this fix he finds himself in when the movie starts.
Now, what was great about it too was that he's bad. It's not like you think he's imitating someone else or he's pretending to be Waylon Jennings or something like that. He's really that character, and that too has to be accomplished with the music and the actual songs that you wrote for him. Who were you thinking about exactly?
I was thinking about Leonard Cohen and Don Williams. I'm dealing with it more from a getting it to happen place. So I had to find songs, write songs, produce the music that would be natural for Jeff. I've known him for 30 years. We've been playing and singing together for 30 years. He's a great conjurer. Jeff, he conjured this character. Like Ryan said, he was hanging out with Jeff, and when it came time to do the scene, he knocked on the door, and a different guy opened the door.
Yeah, it was still, hanging out with Jeff backstage, and then from doing the actual scene, it's like I was talking to Bad Blake. It wasn't Jeff Bridges anymore.
And he does that with songs. He conjures songs. So we were looking for songs that we knew he could conjure. That was rather than try to turn him into George Strait or.
That's why it works so well. So Weary Kind is nominated. Maybe you could walk me through just briefly a little bit how that song itself came into being.
Scott Cooper is the first person that I met, when all this came about. And he just called me one day and we went to lunch and he brought me the script and he just started really kind of talking about his influences and telling me who was in the movie and that T-Bone and Stephen Bruton were going to produce the music. And he said, take a look at the script and if you're inspired to write anything, let me know. And I took it on the road for a couple of weeks and read it over and got home. And I don't know, it seems like there's that character that Jeff, plays in the movie. It seems like everyone knows somebody like that, or knows of somebody, whether you know him personally. And so either you are that person or you have friends or family that's going through that. And this is the story of this guy and where he was coming from and where he was going, and just basically just trying to describe his life and what he was all about.
Worked very well. Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you so much.
It's perfect.